switch on sports exhaust, and you can hear that burble is beautiful, amazing. And then, hello, welcome to Invictus Porsche. We've got a 911 991.2 GTS. These are the turbocharged GTSs, and I'll be reviewing just to kind of feel the performance and how they're different to its predecessor, the last of the naturally aspirated, the 991.1 GTSs. And in this particular 911 that we have here in front of us, I'll just explain everything from the history of these cars, the way they drive, the way they handle, the exterior specification, the interior specification, and pretty much an all-encompassing review of what you could expect out of this Porsche 911 991.2 GTS. Don't forget to subscribe. Whatever money we make out of our YouTube channel gets donated to a UK registered charity. That money gets used by the charity to build wells in Afghanistan, and we're also in the process of building a school out there. So thank you for watching our videos. Firstly, the Porsche 911, the 991.2 GTSs, they're very different from its predecessor, the 991.1 GTS. The whole of the front of the car has been given a complete, facelift, including the front headlights, and that sort of continues all the way to the back of the GTS as well, because what you tend to find is a more aggressive looking rear bumper. The lights, the rear LED lights are also sculpted. The exhaust is in the center as opposed to it being a twin sports tailpipe exhaust system pretty much on the outside. And just that whole rear spoiler, including this grille, is now got these vertical lines rather than the horizontal lines. So the styling is completely different, despite the fact they're both GTSs. The 991 just takes it up that notch up, as you would expect it from Porsche's evolved and overall an absolutely incredible car to drive. And talking about driving, what good way to get to know it better is to actually get behind the seat and go for a spin. It's very exciting getting into a Porsche 911, forget a 991.2 GTS. It's my first time test driving one of these. So it's a bit of a video of driving one of these for the first time ever. So all a very interesting experience. First time any 911 is quite an overwhelming experience, and I get to test drive a lot of these 911s, Caymans, Boxsters, Cayennes, you name it, and I'm always to some degree just in absolute awe of the magnificent engineering and what work goes into producing these stunning cars. Right from the get-go, the 991.2, the Porsche 911 991.2, the PDK gearbox is just slicker, and initially as you just press that accelerator, it's just that bit more precise, and the response is absolutely incredible in relation to what you expect from the Porsche 911 Carrera S, the 991.1, the naturally aspirated 911s. These being turbocharged, naturally this was going to happen at some point. This is where the future is headed towards, trying to produce cars that are compliant with the emission standards, and the MPG is better, and just overall a fantastic Grand Tourers. And what I like to do is right from the get-go, switch on sports exhaust, and you can hear that burble is beautiful, amazing. And then what impresses me the most with the second generation 991s, the 991.2s is just the burble and the torque and the responsiveness that you get in the lower gears, and that is credit to just the evolution from Porsche, and quite naturally it's a huge testament from a character point of view that you get with the twin turbocharged Porsche 911, the 3-litre twin turbocharged engines that you get. Bravo. I'm in third gear doing 30 miles an hour going through this old English village, not putting my foot down, but that burble and that sound from that sports exhaust is something else. So good. And it's just a good sound, and it's incredible just how much faster overall they've made these cars from a 0 to 62 miles per hour. Out of the 3-litre twin turbocharged engines, you now get that 0 to 62 times down to 3.7 seconds. God, isn't that something? BHP wise, it produces 444 brake horsepower, 550 Newton meters of torque, and the top speed is a blisteringly, high speed of 193 miles per hour. And if you're someone that likes to know MPG and just the standard numbers from an MPG point of view, this has a combined MPG of 34 miles per gallon. And on the motorway you can get up to 41 miles per gallon. And that, again, as I said, testament to Porsche for evolving these, for making them what they've actually made them be. Right now what I've done is put that dial in that sports mode and just driving it in the sports mode, because when you own something like this might be a second car for some people, or maybe it might be a daily. I mean, it's done 26,000 miles. Go out there and put another 30,000 miles. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference in terms of the future value of something like this with the mileage, and also at the kind of a price we have retailed it at. What I'd like to be doing now is actually putting it into the Sports Plus mode. That's it, Sports Plus, drop it down to second, we're at 30 miles an hour. Third gear, 4,000 RPM. With the weather conditions today, I mean, it's in some parts of the country it's about -5 degrees. Here where we are, it's -3 degrees. So I don't want to be putting into Sport Plus and having the traction control deactivated to some degree. I think they are a lot of fun, even if it wasn't in sports mode. Now the the Porsche active suspension management system, the PSM damper control, just adds to the overall nature of the 911 handling, and how superior they become as well once the damper control is activated. And when you go back to looking at damper control starting from the 997.1s, they've come a long way, combined with the PDCC, the Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control. The handling is just on a different level, and this being the GTS variant, they come standard lowered by 10 millimeters over and above choosing PSM on a standard 911 Carrera S. So really and truly, the GTSs are the now 20 mil lowered over a base Porsche 911 Carrera. The Carrera S are 10 and the GTSs are 20. And also, the GTS offers you something very different to what you would normally get in the 911 Carrera S. It's just the overall chassis response, the engine, because it has a power kit, as I said, that produces 444 bhp, 550 Newton meters of torque. The GTSs are also just built to a very different specification, hence they cost that bit more, but at the same time they hold their money incredibly well. You can try your best at speccing a 911 Carrera S to a GTS, but it never will be a GTS. Starting from what I've said, the fact it's got the rear axle from the 911 Carrera 4, number one. Number two, the whole chassis is, as I said, with the damper control, is 20 millimeter lowered rather than 10 millimeter lowered. The power kit, everything combined is what gives the 911, the GTS, this phenomenal package of a car, and all of it makes it this ideal Porsche 911 that you want to own, that you want to daily drive, or just have as a second car. Especially when you compare what the natural step up from something like this is. Is it a GT3? Is it a GT3 RS? And not everyone wants to make that leap to a GT3 or GT3 RS, because quite honestly, it's not everybody's cup of tea. And this is where the GTS just does a phenomenal job coming in, filling in that void. Well, that's us done for the test drive part of the video. Yeah, definitely. Now, what can we expect spec-wise on the exterior? Well, firstly, it's got the PDLS headlights, the Porsche Dynamic Cornering. These are the super high-end headlights, and they look absolutely incredible during the night, and they really light up the way as you drive them. In terms of the alloys, this has the 20-inch 911 Turbo Edition 3 alloys. Again, to me, they look incredible, combined with the red calipers, as well as it having the central locks. Central locks are a must, especially in the GTS, just the way the overall car looks and just the stance it gives it. Now, this has a satin black wrap that was done at a cost of about £3,000, which also has been ceramic coated. And prior to the satin black wrap, it had an agate grey metallic color. The agate grey metallic color, as you can see in the images here, is in pristine condition. That color is spot on. There were two reasons for why the previous customer decided to have it wrapped in satin black. One of the reasons was she wanted to protect the paint color, and the second reason was she was absolutely, wanting to do this wrap to this car for quite some time. And the detailing company and the wrapping company is based up in Bolton, called Enhanced Car Care. They did an absolutely phenomenal job with it, and credit to the owner there, Ben. If you are looking to do any wrapping, any detailing, or any ceramic coating, the link to their website is in the description below. do reach out to them. Now, in terms of the rest of the spec, of course, you find the sculpted LED rear lights. This being the GTS. It's got the rear axle from the 911 Carrera 4, so the better uprated rear axle, you know, one way to look at it. It's got the sports Chrono Plus package, the Porsche torque vectoring, limited slip differential system, as well as, you know, sports exhaust, PASM, and overall everything that you can expect from a well-spec'd 991.2 GTS. It has it all. Now let's go on to the interior. What I like about any GTS is finding a lot of Alcantara. That is a bit of a signature move from Porsche, finding Alcantara on the steering, on the seats. The seats are the optional Sports Seats Plus. They're four-way electrically adjustable. You've got the sports exhaust button, the PASM button, the chrono watch there, and you've got the chrono settings right up here. Got the Carrera GTS badging, the GTS lettering embroidered in the headrest. And that GTS Alcantara theme continues all the way to the back of the car as well. You find it here onto the back, where they're finished in a combination of extended leather and Alcantara, as well as the fact that the headlining is finished in Alcantara. I mean, there's probably going to be a fair bit of other spec that I might have missed out on, but as I said, for me, one thing that's absolutely critical when it comes to a GTS is finding Alcantara, because that is the hallmark of a good GTS. Now let's go through the paperwork and tell you what you could expect if you're actually buying this from us. From a paperwork point of view, this has got everything you would expect on a car that is now, what, 5 years old, well, coming up to 6 years old. This was first registered in 2017. Owners wise, it's got 4 former keepers, and including the current owner, she would be the 5th owner. She's had it since March 2021, so for a fair bit of time. She spent a fair bit of money on it as well, including just doing the usual serviceable maintenance item at Porsche, as well as having 2 brand new rear tyres. It's got a full main dealer Porsche service history as well. So the first service was done on the 12th of June 2019 at 8,000 miles, and the second service was done on 15th of April 2021 at 15,464 miles. On the 14th of April 2023, it will be due its next service, and pretty much all the paperwork is here. You know, some of the invoices are here, the is HPI clear, and all the full main dealer service history. Hopefully I've covered everything you needed to know about this 911. Don't forget to subscribe. You know where the money goes from you watching our videos, and thank you for being here and supporting us. See you in future videos. Bye.